Hello, hello out there. Jamie Shepley here. Welcome to the 250K for Dummies. I am beyond excited to go ahead and start to share with you the 3-step plan that is going to teach you how to un-F your money mindset so that you can earn like the successful. We're going to talk about how you can learn the exact strategies that will pay off your debt once and for all, and the steps to increasing your income and wealth so that you no longer live under the financial stress and that you can have financial independence. And again, you guys, I want to encourage you from the bottom of my heart that you can do this. You guys, if I can do this, if I can turn my money dummy mindset around, if I can turn my sad, sorry bank account around, you can too. So let's get started. All right, you guys, so lesson 1, you guys, we are going to un-F that money mindset once and for all, because let's face it, the successful think about money differently. They think about income differently, and we have got to get a hold of how we think and how we operate if we want to be successful too. So let's go ahead and get started. I first want to give you guys the definition of wealth. Wealth to most average Americans is people who have an abundance of material possessions. So they have the nice car, they have a nice house, they have, their kids have cell phones, they buy a new car every couple years, whatever. It's an abundance of material possessions, okay? Definition of wealth for the affluent, meaning the wealthy themselves, their definition is that you own substantial amounts of appreciate assets to accumulate enough wealth to live without working for an average of 12 years. Those are two extremely different definitions. One, the average American sees an abundance of material possessions, meaning consuming, buying the things, buying the flashy stuff, showing off their so-called wealth. Where the actual wealthy people and the actual affluent people, they define wealth as having so many accumulated assets to where they can live without working for 12 years. And just so you guys know, more than 80% of financially independent are not trust fund babies from the Vanderbilts. They are ordinary people who have accumulated wealth within one generation, steadily and slowly without signing a $1 million bonus with the Yankees or winning the lottery. They have saved an average of 15% of their earned income. That is how they have accumulated their wealth. So I encourage you, it is not when you hear that someone can live without working for 12 years on their accumulated wealth. I want to be very clear that you guys, these people have done it steadily and slowly and within one generation. They didn't go win the lottery. They're not working for the Yankees. They're not an ancestor of the Vanderbilt family. They have steadily done things that have created this wealth for them. I want to encourage you even further and tell you a little bit of story about two men. There's one man named Charles Bobbins. Charles Bobbins was a fireman. He was making an income of $55,000 a year. He knew how to protect and multiply his income, and he did it very well. He lived a low consumption lifestyle, and Charles can sustain his lifestyle for 10 years without ever working again on a $55,000 salary as a fireman. Then we have Dr. Ashton. Dr. Ashton has an income of $560,000, and Dr. Ashton lives a high consumption lifestyle. Dr. Ashton can sustain his lifestyle for maybe 2 years, 3 years max without working. So you have a fireman making $55,000 a year who can stop working and have enough money to sustain himself and his wife at the current lifestyle for 10 years. And on the other side, you have a doctor making $560,000 and he can only sustain himself at his lifestyle for 2 to 3 years. That's a humongous difference. And it's all about the strategy of what they've done with their income and how they see and think about money. Their money mindsets are completely different. So let's go a little bit further. An interesting definition is of the word frugal. Frugal means it's a behavior characteristics by or reflecting economy in the use of resources. The opposite of frugal is wasteful. Wasteful is defined as a lifestyle marked by lavish spending and hyper consumption. Isn't this interesting that the things that we confuse and associate to wealth? We associate flashy houses, flashy cars, Rolex watches as wealthy, but by definition, they're actually wasteful. They're hyper consumption. They're not using, as Frugal says, resources well. How many do you think that you could keep while not working for 10 years? How many flashy houses, how many cars, how much Rolex? If you had to stop working right now, how long would you be able to upkeep your lifestyle? Now, I want to be very clear here. I am not in any way, shape, or form saying for you not to have nice things. But one, we are learning financial independence here. We are learning to take it to the next level. We are learning to have an income of 250K or more and be wise with our money. And number two, I want to debunk the idea of the popular belief that shiny is wealthy. You guys, all shiny means is spent. All shiny means is spent, meaning money was spent. That's it. That's all shiny means. That's it. It could be that house could be in debt. The car could have been bought by debt. All shiny means is spent. It just means that money is no longer there for your freedom. You have locked and loaded and put money in the jail, and the jail looks like a house, or the jail looks like a car, or the jail looks like a wristwatch on your arm, okay? That's all that means. So why am I sharing this with you? I definitely don't mean it in a discouraging way. I want to show you that how to protect and increase and multiply your income to 250K and beyond if you desire to. What I feel would be a disservice to you and something that I ethically don't feel good about is not letting you know that you can have financial freedom on an average income and tell you that 250K income will not bring financial freedom if you don't improve your protection skills. If you don't improve your money mindset, a 250K income is not going to bring you financial freedom, and a lot of people think that it will. So I am here to teach you how to create 250K or more income, absolutely, but I feel ethically responsible to make sure to tell you that the mindset in which you have money right now, if you feel stressed about money right now, if you feel overwhelmed about money right now, a big portion of that, not everything, I can't have a crystal ball and see into your situations right now over this computer, but a large portion of that is because of the way that you look and use money, and that has a large part to do with your mindset, okay? So like I said before, you guys, money makes you more of what you already are. So let's make sure that you know how to create, multiply, and increase. Yes, but let's make sure that you also know how to protect so that you can obtain financial freedom even quicker, so that you can relieve the stress even faster, okay? So now we're going to get a little bit nerdy and really dive into the mindset and how it really does work. Go with me here because it's very powerful. And by the way, you can use this in any form of your life that you feel you're struggling in. You can use this tactic in losing weight, in your marriages, at your career, whatever. But today, obviously, we're going to talk about money. But we're going to talk about your RAS. Your RAS is your reticular activating system. So the RAS is a band in your mind, in your brain, that controls what you focus on. Without the RAS, you guys, we would go stark raving mad. Because could you imagine if we focused on every little noise, every feeling of your shirt, every little whisper of wind, everything that was happening around you? We'd go freaking nuts, right? So our brain is incredible, and it actually deletes things constantly, and it helps you focus on smaller percentage of what is in your environment. But what happens when you do not control what your brain is focusing on and it's just on autopilot? You possibly are getting a default setting of failure, of stress, of overwhelm, of disbelief, and so on. Okay, you could possibly be focusing on experiences or things that people told you, and they're actually not even true. Your mind decides to focus on the questions that we ask ourselves, and these questions are asked either consciously or unconsciously. But these answers will put you in one of two states, okay? So your RAS is looking what to focus on. It's looking to protect you. It's looking to help you succeed through life, right? That is all about what our bodies want to do. It's just human nature. It's how we were built. So your mind, how it decides what to focus on is it's asking the questions. It's asking, what is important here? What do I know about this? And it's doing it most of the time unconsciously until you figure out how to do it on purpose. When your mind answers this question, so say it's thinking about money, what do I think about money? It's going to answer for you. It's going to come up with the experiences that it knows to give you an answer. And that answer is going to put you in one of two states emotionally. Okay, you cannot be in both of these states at the same time, and you can't avoid either one of these states. But these states are either a living state or a struggling state. Now, it's very clear that the living state is positive thought processes. It's encouraging, it's motivating, it's creative, it's resourceful. The struggling state is usually it's struggling, it's negative, it's doubtful, it's fearful, it's scared, it's stressed, okay? So you know which state you're in by the feelings that you have in the situation or how you feel about a particular person or subject or place. So since we're learning about money, and making a ton of it, by the way, we need to look at how you see money. What do you think when you think about money? I encourage you to get a pen and paper and take some notes and ask yourself and write down what your mind answers when you're asked this question. What do you think about money? Is it a positive thought, or do you have a negative association to money or making money? A lot of these answers will come from experiences, whether they're yours or someone else that's close to you that taught you, okay? So do you have an upbringing, say, without money? Like you broke up kind of broke and poor. You were raised in a home that didn't have much money. And so now you spend everything you have because you think like, I need everything and I need it now. Like you don't want to go without because you've been without before and you ain't going without ever again. So you spend everything to keep up with the Joneses per se, to keep up with the lifestyle that you think you deserve. Or if you were brought up without money, do you think that everything is too expensive? That you never have money because everything's too expensive because that's what you heard your entire life? Or you could have been brought up with money and keep up with the Joneses as well, because now you have this status quo in your head. You have this ideal lifestyle that your parents were able to support and uphold, but now you think you just naturally deserve it. And so you literally spend everything that you have to upkeep that lifestyle as well. These are two varied associations with money and things. So depending on what your experience is, that's what's going to be telling you. Now, here's a hint. Just because they're experiences, just because someone told you X equals Z, it doesn't make them true. Okay, you can borrow someone else's experience about money if yours sucks. And this is exactly what I did. I highly recommend it because money is a tool for so many people. Many successful people that came from nothing and now they're able to build a great lifestyle for themselves using money as a tool. So we'll learn about more of these ideas and tools later on in the further lessons, but I want you to understand that you have others who grew up with nothing and they still have nothing because they see money as hard to obtain, hard to keep, and the government takes it anyways, right? Those are some thought processes. But you have super, super successful people that came from nothing, came from other countries, literally with like $2 in their pocket, and they've created these incredible lives for themselves. Figure out how do they see money, and borrow their money thoughts, borrow their how they see money, borrow it if yours really sucks right now. So to figure out how to improve how you see money, you guys, because if you can see, like, if your answer of what do I think about money and it comes up and it puts you in the struggling state and it's negative, that is literally stopping you from being creative. It's stopping you from taking the risk to start the business. It's stopping you from taking the risk to invest. It's stopping you to take the risk to pay off the debt, because part of you just believes that this is how it is, that this is as good as it's going to get. And that simply isn't true. So asking yourself better questions is exactly the way that you can get yourself from a struggling state and in the negative mindset to a more positive one. And a good question is, what could money do for you? Okay, so if you think money sucks, if you think money is hard, if you think the government's going to take it anyway, maybe start asking yourself better questions like, what could money do for you? Start allowing yourself to brainstorm. Even if you think like, oh, that probably won't happen anyway, tell that part to shut up, and ask yourself, what could money do for me? What could I appreciate about growing up with absolutely nothing? What could I get out of that? What did I learn that I could implement and use, right? What strategies and survival methods did I have? You can still implement things. Not everything was awful, right, in your upbringing. So regarding this RAS band, you guys, we actually, like I said, we've been on it as far as autopilot, but I have a question for you. When are you going to change it? When are you going to get in that driver's seat and change that pattern of thinking of the poverty mindset and start seeing money as how successful people see it? I really want you guys to start paying attention to the wealthy. Have the ability to absorb and to learn everything that you can from others who are already successful. They have the tools, they have the resources, they have the strategies, they have the mindsets of how they see things. Adopt their thought processes on money and success until your own begin to shift, and then until your own thought process actually start to serve you instead of put you in the poverty mindset prison. Another thing is that money, you guys, gives you a feeling. It gives you a feeling. Does it make you excited? Does it make you fun? Does it make you feel significant? Is it buying you confidence? Does money buy you love? A lot of people are in debt because they have bought a feeling in a short period of time. I always have this saying, like, a lot of people eat their emotions. Well, some people spend their emotions. You're trying to buy a feeling. You're trying to buy significance, or you bought something maybe you shouldn't have because you thought it would buy the love of someone else, or it gave you confidence or whatever, right? You were excited at the time. So I want you to write down, take the time, what does money, what feeling do I get from it when I'm spending, okay? I know you have negative feelings when you're deep in debt, but you got deep in debt for a different reason, for an opposite feeling. Find out what that feeling is. And then really ask yourself the question of, how else can I get that feeling? How else can I feel excited that doesn't cost money? How else can I feel significant or show that person that I love them? Or how else can I feel confident, right? And be very resourceful, you guys, to figure out ways to get those feelings so that you can put yourself in a position of financial freedom, financial independence, a better mindset around money. I also want you to ask the question, how does keeping money make you feel? Really drive this home. How does keeping money make you feel? And get excited about that. Get excited about keeping the money. How fun is that? How much significance are you going to get by the money that you saved, the debt that you paid off, the love that you'll get from it, the confidence that you'll get from it? Really take those emotions that you have on spending money and relate them to actually keeping your money. You guys, I really want you to know that earning $20,000, the $250K mark, it is possible. There's plenty of stinking money to go around, and here's a huge fat hint that I'm going to tell you. Most people aren't even trying. They're not even trying, and the vaults are full, baby. Most people will get into a program like this, and it's $250K, and it's paying off your debt, and it gives you the exact strategies on your mindset. It gives you the exact strategies how to pay off your debt. It gives you the exact strategies how to increase and increase now, and most aren't doing it. There is plenty of money to go around, and there are few that are even going after it. So I want to encourage you that it is possible, and I want to encourage you to go after it. Okay. I also want you to take a minute, and I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine 5 years from now, because you're going to have results 5 years from now regardless. Regardless if your results are the exact same or if they are better. But imagine 5 years from now and you haven't changed a thing. Okay, you're deeper in debt and you have even more stress and even more overwhelm. Okay, I want you to imagine it. What does your life look like? What are your emotions? What are your feelings? What are your children doing? What is your marriage like? What is your physical body feeling like? Right? What are the things that you've missed out on? What are the things that you didn't get to go to? What's the time that you didn't get to spend with loved ones that you wanted to? Really allow yourself to go there and to imagine 5 years out, if nothing changes, if I keep doing the same thing day in and day out that I'm doing right now, if I keep doing the same thing that got me into the debt, if I'm doing the same thing, then I think about money the way that I think about it now, what is that going to get me? Then I want you to go 5 years out and imagine that you are well on your way to being financially free. That you have done the due diligence, that you have looked at how your mindset is a little bit effed up on money, and that you started asking yourself the better questions of what could money do for me? How could I see it and use it as a tool? What are the successful thinking that you borrowed someone else's thought process on money, that you implemented the strategies that you learned here to pay off debt, that you implemented the strategies that you learned here to increase your debt, and you started a business and your income rose to 250K. What does your life look like well on your way to being financially free? How does that feel? What time do you get to spend with loved ones? What time do you get to spend doing hobbies and fun things that you really love to do but you don't get to do? Where have you gone? Where have you traveled to? Really write those things down, you guys. Make sure that you see them and feel them and make them as real as possible. Because the truth is, 5 years is coming. Regardless if we like it or not, 5 years is coming. And at the end of those 5 years, you will have results regardless, one way or the other. I want to also encourage you about the ripple effect, you guys. The coolest thing ever. This happens in all areas of life, but especially in money. It is huge in money. The ripple effect, or the compound effect that some people call it, is just a little bit grows really big. So I want you to picture a droplet of water. And then I want you to picture how it goes out into ripples, right? It starts with one really small ripple, and then a little bit of a bigger, and then a little bit of a bigger, and then a little bit of bigger, until it grows to a really massive size ripple. And this is exactly how money works, you guys. Clarity is power. So if you get really clear on what you want, 250K for say, you want to be debt free, you want to be financially free, financially independent, okay? If you focus on that and you get really clear, because clarity is power, and you start to pay off that debt, little by little, that $100 of debt is one ripple, and then it'll be 200, and then it'll be 400, and then it'll be 800, and then it'll be 1600, and then it'll be 3200, and then it'll be 6400, and now we've hit my math skills. But you get what I'm saying here, you guys. Little bit goes bigger, 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 and bigger, and that is the compound effect, and that is exactly how money works. Whether you're paying off debt or whether you are saving to become financially rich so that you can not work for 10 years and still have the same lifestyle, whichever way it is, that is how money works. So I encourage you right now to really hone in, get ready for the rest of this teaching, because we are going to hit that home and you will quickly change. You guys, it didn't take me long to go from crying to that cop, from being completely broke financially. I was broke emotionally. I was broke financially. I was just broke. It didn't take long for me to turn that around. It didn't take long for me to have the financial freedom that I wanted to pay off the debt. It didn't take long. It happens very rapidly. Before I knew it, we were in a different seat. We were in a different financial boat. So one of the biggest keys, you guys, that I snagged from and learned from successful people, right? Because we're absorbing what successful people do. Watch what they have and do what they do. One of the biggest keys that I snagged from successful people is that overall physical health produces better decision making in all areas of life. So morning mastery rituals, millionaires and highly successful people are doing them that can implement to make a difference right now in our own lives. And it includes overall emotional, physical health, okay? Because that produces better decision making, which is going to help you better produce the decisions of what to do with your money with a better mindset, and as you get to the point of growing to 250K plus. Another thing that I want to share with you is that Jim Rohn says income does not exceed personal development. Income does not exceed personal development. So once we solve this money thing, once we solve the debt, once we solve our mindset, you are going to have the time to work on the things that you really want to do, because income does not exceed personal development. So think of this. We're fixing the money mindset. We're uneffing your money mindset. But think of all the other things that are going to be a ripple effect to you fixing your money mindset. Because when you fix your money mindset, and this money problem is no longer a thing, what other passions, what other hobbies, mission trips, or, projects are you wanting to be a part of that you can't right now because you're too whelmed, too overstressed, and you're too deep in debt, or you just straight up don't have enough money? You'll have this time and the resources to do the things that you really want to do, okay? So I really want you to listen up, because morning mastery is absolutely massive. Every successful person that I've ever studied, you have the Les Browns, the Tony Robbins, the Jim Rohns, the Steve Jobs, the Lady Gagas, the Madonnas, all of them, you guys, have a morning ritual system that they follow. Okay, so we're going to go through the ritual system that I encourage you to do this for 30 days and prove me wrong on this. Do this for 30 days. I actually have groups, private 30-day groups, where all we do is do the 30 days together. If you're interested, it's called Total Reset. I usually have them once a month, but I can't always promise that. But I do have them in 30 days. We go through these together, and it is absolutely astounding and gets the most results from anything else that I teach. It is absolutely epic and incredible. It is tailored. It is handheld. We do it together. It is one-on-one service, and it just absolutely blows everything else out of the water as far as the results go. But I'm going to give them to you here, and I encourage you to go ahead and start doing them on your own. And if you want to join a Total Reset later, absolutely, you're welcome to do that. Just get a hold of me and definitely get yourself signed up for one. But the rituals, so the rituals that I teach are PSP, and that stands for Peace, Sweat, and Prep. So essentially, I'm going to give you the base of these rituals. We can't go in depth with them here in this training, but I want to give them to you. So peace is to create peace first thing in the morning. I want you guys to plug your ears with something motivational or encouraging, okay? Because a lot of us that are in stress or overwhelmed, a lot of us that need to change and un-F our money mindset, usually it's not just money. Usually we're stressed and overwhelmed in other areas in our life, right? So when we get up in the morning, a lot of us have a to-do list that's a mile long. A lot of us have stress and anxiety right out of the gates in the morning. So I want you to plug your ears. Plug your ears with something spiritual or encouraging or motivating right out of the morning, so you can control your thoughts and feed and get those positive thoughts to get yourself into a living state where you are resourceful. Spend your time in the morning in the peace mode. Get yourself, I like to encourage you guys to do lemon water because our body has been fasting all night long. If you do coffee, go ahead and sip some coffee. Now's the time to get some personal development. Remember, income does not exceed personal development. So maybe get an personal development book. Read a little bit while you're having your morning coffee. You can continue to have the things in your ears, or you can listen to an audiobook, whatever works for you, but make sure that it's on purpose. Make sure that this is not the time for, no social media, you guys, no news. Don't open your emails, okay? But do that. Sometimes I encourage people to do, it usually takes about 30 minutes, okay, to just kind of start your day that way in a peaceful way. The next one is S, which is sweat. And so this is pretty, self-explanatory, but you're going to go work out. Again, about 30 minutes. And again, have your ears plugged. Continue to plug your ears. That is a big, huge key, you guys. We get massive results when we work out. It's called our triad. But when we work out and our body is physically moving and sweating, what we're listening to actually affects our mindset on a way deeper, like tenfold. It's way deeper, way more impactful. You'll work out better, but then your mindset, that RAS band, is going to be focused and controlled on what you want it to be controlled on. So choose wisely what's going in your ears. Again, I recommend 30 minutes at least. Just build up a sweat. If you already have a workout routine and you do like an hour or more, that's cool. Do your thing, but definitely get at least 30 minutes, work yourself up in a sweat. The second P, PSP, the second P is prep. So that's where you're going to prep for your day, okay? Again, keep your ears plugged with something motivating, something encouraging, something inspiring. You're controlling your mindset. You're controlling your RAS band, right? You're controlling yourself, putting yourself in that living state on purpose, all right? So the prep is you're going to get ready for the day. So maybe you have kids, you got to make breakfast or make lunch for the day. Maybe think about dinner. So when you come home, you're not like, oh my gosh, what are we going to have for dinner, right? Every woman hates that question. So just get it out of the way right now and solve it in the prep phase in the morning. And in the prep phase, go ahead and take a minute and just do your to-do list, but do your must list. Like, what are the must things that get done today? What are the top 5 absolutely must? And just focus on those 5 things. The to-do list will get done at some point, but kind of set it aside and focus on the must list so that you get the most important things done today. Because at the end of the day, you will feel accomplished. You will feel satisfied. You'll be like, hey, I worked out. I did some personal development. I feel like a freaking rock star, and I got the most important things done today. It's going to create accomplishment. It's going to put you in that living state, and it's going to, most importantly, start your day on purpose and not on autopilot. And like I said, we're going to do what successful people do. And every successful person I have ever studied has done this. I have been doing the rituals, those morning rituals, for years now. And it is, in fact, the number one thing, the biggest key to my success. Do I have strategies? Yes. Do I have control over my mindset? Yes. Do I have the steps and the know-how and the wisdom and the experience? Yes, yes, yes. But it is these rituals that I have done every single morning for several years that have created the biggest impact. So I encourage you to do them, you guys. Again, 30-day challenge. If you try them yourselves and you feel like you can't do them by yourself, you're just not understanding. We go really deep. We go really tailored to you and your needs in the Total Reset. So I absolutely welcome you to join that. So you guys have so much at your disposal right now. You guys have so much in the mental mindset game as far as money goes. You guys understand that you have an RAS band that is focusing on things, okay? You have realized that possibly your focus has been shifted. It's been skewed. It might be focusing on the bad things of money. Your experience may have given you bad ideas of money, a bad mindset. But now you know what? Other people see money different, and you can too. Ask yourself better questions. Ask yourself better questions. Get yourself to a living state about money so that you can be resourceful, so that you can learn these strategies that we're going to teach you, because we are about to dig deep on the what to do, how to do it strategies that are going to step by step help you pay off the debt, that are going to help you protect and manage your money that you currently earn, and increase and multiply your money to the next level so that you can no longer be in a position where you have to give up things that you want to give up, where you are stressed, where you are overwhelmed, and in a position like I was when I was crying to the cop. I hated that day. I don't ever want to see that day ever come again. And we have the strategies here that you can create the income that you need on the word go right now, very quickly. It's not an overnight success. I'm not gonna, I don't promote that kind of stuff, but I do promote quick. If you are willing to go to work, if you are willing to do the stuff, if you are willing to put it into practice, we will have you well on your way to financial independence very quickly. So I hope this helped. I hope that you guys are really starting to think about, your money mindset and the things that you think and the BS. To be honest, most of it is total BS. Most of it is completely false. And I hope that you're encouraged. Try implementing the rituals for the next 30 days and see what they do for you. Just try them out. If you get to the end of 30 days and you're like, that didn't help at all, let me know. Okay, you're totally willing to be willing to be honest with me. I'm absolutely an open book with you, but I know that there's no chance in freaking hell that you are going to get at the end of 30 days if you really do the rituals and if you really implement them, and if you really shift your mindset, getting to the living state, and you really focus on what you're focusing on, you really think about how you think about money, you're really implementing the strategies that we teach here, there is no way that you will not be successful. So I hope this blessed you. I hope it helps you. I hope it finds you well. I will see you in the next lesson. I cannot wait to teach you how to protect your money and get out of that debt once and for all.